Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today I'm going to try and tackle once again this Lady Deadpool uniform. And last time I felt a bit awkward at the end of the video because I was saying, guys, I don't really understand. Is this uniform better or not? And I've done a little bit more testing since then. I've done it on my account now rather than doing it on a test account, which does help. And I also have my X-Force build to compare to it, but this is still kind of a mystery. However, there is one thing I want to cover at the beginning that I think could sway some people to actually purchase this uniform over the X-Force uniform. But just before we get into that, I want to remind you guys there is a event on. It's got 1 day and 8 hours left, so there's still some time. But in 24 hours, in about 24 hours or 30 hours, if you don't have the old... Oh, hey, got nerves? What? My Alliance member, Got Nerves, is #1 for Deadpool. Damn! That's dope, dude. Congrats. I didn't even notice that. I mean, I didn't know that until now, until I noticed. Anyways, for everybody else out there, just to squeeze a little bit more rewards out of Deadpool's ranking, especially because it's crystals, equip the X-Force uniform right before the end of the event if you don't have the other newer uniform at Mythic. For example, with this Deadpool uniform, I'm ranked 606, which is pretty damn good. But if I drop over to this uniform, you're going to see my rank is going to plummet to, well... Okay, it doesn't want to drop. 2,300. That could be the difference between getting 100 crystals and only getting like, what, 80 or 75? Now, that's not a huge deal, but for some people, it actually might be. So for every few crystals that I can save you guys, I will do my best to do so. So anyways, back to what I was saying. I think the one big way in which this uniform is better, or is definitely an upgrade, a visible, reliable, consistent upgrade, is the 4th skill not being canceled in PvP. So I'm gonna investigate. I mean, obviously the 4th skill has the all defense down and stuff, but now let's check out what I'm saying with an actual what the hell? With an actual test of a little bit of action here. So apologies to this guy on my friends list here. We're gonna scroll down and find someone who I can fight against. Hindawi. We're just gonna show you the example. So what I've noticed, and I've noticed this mostly from watching other people play with their Lady Deadpool builds in PvP, but I've noticed that Lady Deadpool's 4th skill, it doesn't get interrupted anymore. Once you land the beginning of the attack, it just goes. It goes all the way to the end. You see that? And it's a full iframe through and through. And so, also, you also have the really nice combo of being able to have a lot of the damage, the explosions delayed. Really delayed, as opposed to the X-Force uniform, where if you iframe, or if you can sort of interrupt him midway, you end up interrupting the middle part of the skill. And so you guys have probably seen it countless times if you've played against or with X-Force Deadpool, but basically, you know, he throws the shuriken, and then if you interrupt it, if you move or whatever, because I think there's a small gap in the iframe, and we're going to try to replicate it now by just pressing the 4th skill and seeing if Captain America moves. But if you do it properly, or whatever, he doesn't go through all those hits in the middle. He just does the initial hit, and then he goes to the end where he cleans his blade. So we're going to see if we can get it here. See that? Perfect. That was a perfect example. So there I was only able to do the very end of the 4th skill. We actually might die here. Cap's being a huge asshole. Yeah, we just died. But yeah, you saw it at the very beginning there. It's hard for me to replicate. I don't have a PvP build on Deadpool, so he gets guard broken like crazy constantly. I may actually try a PvP build out on Deadpool in the future, because I have heard a lot of good things about PvP Lady Deadpool. And there's actually a video by a Japanese player. I think they're Japanese. Their game was in Japanese. I saw them. Wow, I got tier 3'd on, and he still couldn't kill me. Wow, that's mega sad. I'm not even doing anything. Anyways, I saw this video by this Japanese player who was using Lady Deadpool on auto with a lot of good results against strong characters, and it's mainly because they can, not only does the 4th skill deal more damage now, but you can guarantee all of the 4th skill damage because it doesn't get interrupted. So now let's go into some actual content. We're going to put together a kind of a weird team up for PvE content because we need to make up for the fact that this uniform is only rare, so I'm missing about 5% ignore dodge. So you can see there 45.87%. So we're going to go in with this uniform here, and we're going to put this team up. The team up is for the Lady Deadpool uniform. We're going to go up against Corvus, stage 60. This is the team up right here. Wasp gives us the debuff removal, and then we get the ignore defense from Black Widow. So they both benefit from the crit damage, and then we bring these 3 strikers so that we have 100% ignore dodge. They don't do very much damage, so it really doesn't matter. Also, they only do 1 skill, so you're basically getting almost identical damage between the 2 runs. But yeah, this should show you his 4th skill. It's hard to show, to sort of illustrate with raw numbers, but his 4th skill does so much more damage now than it did before. So I think that's one really nice thing about Deadpool, is that his new 4th skill just does a lot more damage than it used to, even though it still has that long wind-up. The other thing I will say about the new Deadpool uniform, the Lady Deadpool uniform, is that we're gonna interrupt him here. There we go. Nice. The other thing that I can say about the new Lady Deadpool uniform is that you can cash in the 3rd skill, all defense down, much faster. Because they reduced the 3rd skill animation time, you can get that all defense down on the 3rd skill to apply much faster, rather than having to wait through. See, I got interrupted there. Rather than having to wait through all of those swings, and having to wait through potentially getting interrupted, potentially getting snared in the middle, having the boss deal damage to you. There's lots of things that can go wrong. So this was taking me a little bit longer than a minute to do. And yeah, we got kind of interrupted, but it was about 1 minute and 5 seconds. So we're just a little bit off of that, but you can see it's quite close to being 1 minute and 5 seconds. This is what I was getting on average to kill the first phase of Corvus. We made a few mistakes there, but I think if you clean it up, it's about 1 minute to 1 minute and 5 seconds. Now let's go back with Lady Deadpool, and their physical attacks are pretty similar, even though one is at Mythic, because I changed the option. So the option here, the second option is HP, so to compensate for that with the new uniform, I swapped it over to physical attack because it's only a plus 19 rather than a plus 25. So that 6% is being compensated for by the physical attack roll. And now we're going to go in here. Currently, there doesn't exist any content that benefits being a male character versus being a female character besides ABX, and I guess certain Shadowland stages, so that is possibly a benefit if you don't want to build Luna Snow at all. Let's say you're a veteran player who never got the premium bioselector and you're free to play, and so you never ever unlocked Luna Snow. You didn't get her from the event battles. I don't know why you wouldn't have, but for whatever reason, you could always use Lady Deadpool to hit 100,000 in ABX. If they ever bump up the score for it, you can also get more points that way. But see, this is what I mean by cashing in the 3rd skill. I understand now better than I did before that the value of being able to just cancel 3 almost instantaneously and get that you know, that all defense is quite valuable. And another thing you can do is you can do 3 after you do. We're gonna let him. We didn't interrupt him this time. We're running a little bit slow on the time here. But what you can do is you can do 3 cancel 4 proc, and then you can do 3 cancel 5 proc. And you can even do 3 cancel 6 procs. There's a lot of new rotations that are sort of opened up by being able to do 3 really quickly before opening into other skills. You can see there, wow, I actually did get interrupted for the first time, but the damage is really nice. I'm gonna do 3-5 this time. I really think a lot of the damage actually opens up from that 3rd skill, and we haven't even hit the 4th skill that many times. This is probably the worst run I've had, but you can see this is similar, if not better, to the existing Deadpool X-Force run. So I think really it comes down to the 4th skill being a lot better for PvP this time around, and the 3rd skill being so much faster. Like if you count the number of seconds, if we just go into skill preview here, because of when you can cancel it, you can see it's like less than a second, because as soon as you can't do it when you see the bombs, but as soon as she swings on the bombs, boom, there you can cancel. So it's like a second. But now you compare it to, they're exactly the same, the no uniform and the yellow and the white uniform, but you compare it to this one and look how long this takes. Now, you can cancel it as soon as you see him throw up the bombs. So you can go 1, 2, and then when he throws them up, you can go and cancel that. But that's it. You still have to wait for that whole mess. Oh, actually, you know what? You can't. Oh, wow. What? Really? Oh, because he has to cut the bombs. That's right. So you actually have to wait. You basically can't cancel the skill at all. True. So it's way, way longer. So being able to combo, you know, 3 cancel 4 proc, 3 cancel 5 proc, 3 cancel 6 proc, being able to string all of those together is really dope. And so it's interesting, a lot of people, myself included, we focused so much, we're like, oh my god, his 4th skill has all defense down, that's so sick. I think that was honestly more of a PvP move. I think they made his 4th skill have all defense down so that you can apply it. So when the bombs explode, it does even more damage to characters like Thanos. I don't think they did that for PvE content, but I really do think they changed his 3rd skill around. I can't believe this is ridiculous. Like, I'm trying to showcase the character, Netmarble, and your game is so ridiculous that it all those hits didn't proc my obelisk. You got to be kidding me with this stuff. But everyone was so focused on the 4th skill having all defense down. Oh, it's so good for PvE. I think it's the 3rd skill. That's the big buff for PvE. Being able to pop off that 3. Boom. Being able to pop that off and string that. Boom. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. And then, so he stacks the all defense down here, right? Then we do this again. Pop the 2, and then we proc on 5 now. Well, we kind of missed the proc there with the all defense down, but you kind of get the strategy, right? You kind of alternate between 3, 4, and 3, 5, and it works. It works really well. So here we go. We again weren't able to cancel his little charge up here. You can only cancel it if you start the 4th skill before he goes into it, and then you can cancel him out of it. But here we go. We're going to be able to pop the 3, and then we stack that all defense down, and look how much more damage this skill does here. We're going to pop the 5, but we're going to cancel it immediately. We're going to pop the 1, and then we pop the 4. I think it's definitely a harder rotation to get used to at first. Check that out. Pop the... the 5? Yeah, I don't know. The 5 is pretty sus sometimes with damage. Yeah. Look at that. Smooth, smooth, smooth. And then that 4 for PvP. It's definitely something that I'll have to investigate more, but he's definitely as fast, if not faster, than X-Force for PvE content. He's a little bit more tanky. He survives a little bit better because of the 10% guaranteed dodge. It's not a lot, but it's enough to give him, you know, 10%, basically 10% more HP, because 10% of the time you're going to dodge. So you know, you get back every 10 hits that you take. If you can take 10 hits, you'll get some of that back. And then for PvP, it's the 4th skill, and it's the fact that it's a full iframe. It's non-interruptible, at least from what I've seen. The all defense down does help as well with PvP stuff, especially for super high defense, tanky enemies like Thanos tier 3, possibly Apocalypse tier 3, who have, like, I mean, you can see even my Thanos is built for PvE, but he's got 20,000 physical and energy defense. Of course, ignore defense helps with that, but so does all defense down. And then the 3rd skill, being able to cancel it, I think that's dope for PvE content. So yeah, I mean, I don't think it's like a runaway improvement. I don't think it's a difference between, like, you know, Captain America Infinity War and Captain America Endgame, where they gave him a skill that had 40% all or 30% all defense down that he never had before. It's definitely more nuanced than that. But I think if you use Deadpool for a lot of gameplay, especially if you have like a hybrid build on him with a CTP of Destruction or something like that for PvE and PvP, I think this is a really good pickup. Anyways, I'm a little bit more confident in recommending this uniform now, but I still, again, I don't think it's an absolute must-buy under every circumstance. So let me know what you guys think of the breakdown for Lady Deadpool. Let me know what you want to see next on the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.